So on to adding some extra fun. We realized that when a player was taking a free spin, their match meter, which gave them Slingos, gave them extra point bonuses, was penalizing them when they took it, and it would clear that out. So we said, don't penalize the user. They get a free spin. It's just like they're going on and on. And another casual game element is chaining things together. So when people scored back-to-back Slingos, we gave them more and more and more and more bonuses. And then at the end of the game, we added achievements that a player could get and added bonuses to that, which makes more replayability for the game. And we sent it off to a little focus test. They were given something that looked like that. We gave them 5 boards, and it was the first feedback that we got from outside of the office, which was definitely a big thing since we were all kind of close to it at this time of development. We got lots of contradictory comments. The tiles are too big. The tiles are too small. This is too much like Mahjong. It's not like Slingo. It's too much like Slingo. I don't like it. I like it. I like it, but I don't know what I like. So some of the feedback gave us some new ideas for features. But the big thing about the focus test was that overall we got great feedback on it, and we knew we were on the right path for making something fun. Some of the focus features that got added were that a lot of people weren't very happy with some of the art assets, especially some of the tile shapes, and they've got updated. We added a fortune cookie at the end, where when a player completes a board, they're given a fortune. And one of the biggest things that came through that is we created a scaling mechanism so we could create much larger layouts than we had space for in the beginning, because when we used the same size tile, we were very limited to 8 tiles high by 10 tiles wide. And once we've got this done, we were able to get a lot more room with creating new layouts. We did cut some features. The first one was, this came from a numerous amount of focus testers that, well, can you highlight what's available to be selected? And this became a game that was so easy, a 2-year-old child could play it with very much success. After taking a look at it, we're just going to cut this right here, right now. And when you leave an artist and a programmer together alone, they decided that they were going to build a dragon because our programmer, for some reason, loves dragons. And he said, dragons to anything equal more fun. So the artist created this dragon, and it was there so when a player got a perfect game, it would fill up and do something. Well, that doing something, we never found out what it was, because getting a perfect game was either next to impossible or impossible. I'm still stuck on the math on that one, on the possibility. This did cause a nice little argument between the design team and the art and programming team. They got very, very tied into it. And we are launching the web version of fall of 2007. And if anyone has any questions about this, and I've also, after I'm finished and we take a little intermission, I do have a playable version. I have all of the playable versions with me. So if anyone would want to take a look from start to finish.
How long was the development cycle, and what was the general time frame for the versions that we saw?
The overall time was about 2 months. And in 2 months, we had 27 different versions. So you do the math, and it comes to a new version every 2 or 3 days. So we just cranked and cranked and cranked.
Did you have a pre-production? Like, did you plan it and then do the first?
We did. There was some pre-planning, and then a lot of that got shifted when it was, this is possible, this is not possible. It would be easier to do this. It would not be. That was the first time we sat down with a programmer with it, is when a lot of the issues came up and got scrapped. Yes.
When you did testing, did you break the testing into those testers that had played Mahjong, the game, and those who had never played?
There was actually a questionnaire that was, do you play Mahjong? Which Mahjong games have you played? And judging from that, we were looking at certain things from people who haven't played Mahjong that were more heavy Slingo players, people that were heavy Mahjong players that weren't heavy Slingo players, and took a look at their feedbacks accordingly, because the two were completely different. Yeah, it was a mix. It was heavier on the female side, but that is what the audience and the intended audience is.
So, if you were to categorize the overall response by your focus group on the idea of borrowing from Slingo and taking design elements from Slingo and adding it to Mahjong, was it positive?
For the people that were big Slingo players that did not play or did not like Mahjong, this is the only Mahjong game I would actually ever play. People that were Mahjong heavy it's a nice new twist. It's just another Mahjong game with like that list of we had before that we were looking at, that it was just more of a twist.
But they still would play.
They were happy with playing it. They enjoyed it.
Did you put out like a strict time frame that you want to get the games out on, or is it pretty much?
Well, we did have a strict time frame that we wanted to have it out with, especially for a web version that's coming up soon. It was we actually missed the date because of getting it into our web wrapper. There were issues with that, but it would have been met if that didn't come up. So it was really issues beyond our control.
How big was the team?
It was 4 people. It was myself, a level design intern, a programmer, and an artist.
How'd you hear that smell?
I took the case. It was this nice silk lined case, and I took it, and instead of keeping it at my desk, I just moved it to the front of the office so anyone else would have to smell it, and then it just kind of dissipated.
Any last questions?
Anyone? And like I said, if anyone wants to see what it looks like playable, what previous versions look like playable, I'll have them during the break.